Hey everyone, Colin once again, and welcome back to the next episode review of Solo Leveling, episode 9. I was about to say 10 because I realized we were episode behind because of the delay. But episode 9, it was great. Which, first of all, I did not know this was. I didn't expect this to. First of all, I didn't know the twist to expect this to happen in a big way. Well, maybe people saw it coming. I don't know, but I probably didn't. It was a much turn of events, you can say. Because since now that Jinwoo and his lady friend, the healer, still not so sure because of her PTSD, you can say, and the one-armed guy from the first couple of episodes that lost his arm and fled, right? And so he said he's gonna go to it. And there's this one guy who has a family, which kind of suspect red flags, right? Which earlier in the episode he said he wanted to apologize to Jinwoo for abandoning him, because he did. He ran for his family though, but he left one of his comrades behind, so he feels guilty about it. So he wanted to apologize to him personally. And then along with Jinwoo, then you have these three convicts. These three prisoners. They're supposed to go along with this jailer or guard, right? He was a guy, along with another guy, who first interviewed Jinwoo when he first came back from that dungeon, almost dead, basically, And they were questioning him when he was in the hospital bed, and so he's with them, as monitoring the prisoners, right? There's three tunnels they're gonna take. Jinwoo takes basically the one that leads to the boss of the dungeon, and the one guy who wanted to apologize to Jinwoo and the other guy who was also with him as well, that left as well, go one way, and then the guy who's looking after the prisoners, and Jinwoo goes along with the guy with the one arm and his not girlfriend, but just a girlfriend. I still have to get that girl's name. It bugs me when I do that. But the twist I didn't expect, because after with the red flags, with last episode though, but I didn't expect this to happen in a big way, because apparently the guard that's looking after the prisoners, the one who interviewed with Jinwoo from before, he goes and flats out kills the prisoners. And I'm like, holy shit, because there's a flashback where because there was a grieving father in a flashback before they left. He was gonna pay him $3 billion because those prisoners. He didn't say all of them or one of them though, but maybe he was referring to all of them, because they raped his daughter, I think, and because of the daughter was so traumatized, she hanged herself, and then those guys would have been let out in a couple of years, and then they'd be back on the street doing what they usually do, So this grieving father pays this guy to kill them, because what happens in a dungeon stays in a dungeon, right? That kind of reminds me, what happens on the mile stays on the mile, the Green Mile. But yeah, because they make you think some beasts killed them, right? No one will ever know though, right? So he pays him this, but the guy just basically, he pays him, but the thing is, I think the guy just wanted to kill anyway. So he goes to kill the prisoners, and the guy with the family wanted to apologize to Jinwoo. He hears the noise, he sees him doing this, and so the guy goes and kills them both, but not before the guy, with his last dying breath, says he's sorry to Jinwoo. Well, yeah, he does apologize to Jinwoo, but it was not in a way that he wanted to though, because he wanted to do it personally, not when he was dying, But he says it to him anyway, and then the guy comes out, and he was gonna get rid of the healer, but then the one arm guy steps in. Even just by using one arm, he's pretty good though. but he's getting cuts. But MC's lady friend tries to heal him, and then Jim Woo as soon as the guy was going to head for her, Jim Woo steps in and blocks him, and so which ultimately by the end, the one-armed guy lived through this episode. I thought he was going to die because okay, you say in the last episode you bring him back, say hey, I can do it because I still want to contribute to the society, including the one guy who had the family. I thought he was going to die. Well, I knew he was going to die, but I didn't expect him to die like that, though, by the hands of this one crazy guy. But the one-armed guy, he survived this episode, so okay, so it wasn't all that bad though, even though the red flags were there. But then Jim Woo, which was a crazy fight, They're all fighting at the same speed, they have the same ability. The guy's questioning if this guy's an E rank, because he's a whole lot different than he was before, especially in appearance and especially in his emotions too, And ultimately, the guy, of course, since the guy, no one else sees Jim Woo's his option menu, right? No one doesn't see him but him. So he makes the part to because he sees he uses full recovery, which the guy questions, well, how can he use all this stuff, because he's basically all the other stuff they combine, because he's really the question about the reawakening from before, right? But then Jim Woo on his menu saying killing instinct, so he has no choice but to kill this guy, but the guy tries to fight like he's invisible, but the guy, Jim Woo, ultimately stabs him at the end. But the fight was crazy overall, it was an insane fight with this guy. But ultimately he stabs him, and so, and because also the thing is, it brings up now that since Jim Woo, he's gaining so much strength, he's leveling up so much though. Part of him, he's losing a part of himself, he's part of his humanity, because the guy mentions to him, like his shadow behind him, it keeps splitting the parts of him until it leads into the abyss, with the glowing eyes that he has, So yeah, he may be stronger though, but he's losing kind of like part of himself of who he originally was, And so by the end, after when they get back, the other guy who was with the one guy who questioned with him when he was in the hospital, right? So that one guy, he comes in and asking what happened to him. What happened to him and the prison, everyone else, And so the one-armed guy makes that because we think that that Jim was gonna be exposed. He was gonna be exposed, and he was gonna tell who really was about what really happened to him that he did though. But no, the one-armed guy tells him he did it though. He did it, and the guy's asking, "How did you do it?" Also with the help of a healer, which kind of makes sense though, right? So. How the guy, so Jim Woo got avoided being the blame because the guy basically because they saw what he can do, so they decided to keep it a secret, But the thing is, how long is Jim Woo's going to keep this up? Because the more he's going to those dungeons, right? Something else like in this type of circus happens, they're like, be suspicious of him because he's been there the whole entire time, right? So I don't know how long he could hold out with keeping this, avoiding this, So he avoided being exposed in one instance because the guy and his friend saw this, so they decided not to tell anybody. So, okay, I did it, but also with the help of a healer. So, but yeah, but this was such a very I did not expect to see. So, but yeah. It was a really great episode. That one guy that was looking over the prisons. Yeah, you can say the prisoners were scumbags and they deserved to die. Sure, of course, though, because otherwise they would have gotten out in a shorter time, though. But the guy just turns into a cold-blooded killer. Let alone kills those two other innocent guys, including the guy who wanted to apologize to Jim Woo, But yeah, but just with the crazy fight, they were fighting at the same speeds and just like. But with the help of the help of Jim Woo's video game menu, you know. But yeah, but it was a great episode. I just didn't expect that to happen though. People maybe say they did, but I didn't expect that part to happen. But yeah, episode 9. It was a crazy fun episode. It really was. So yeah, anyway, that's a Soul Leveling episode 9. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one, and we'll see you next time. Later.